Next approach is for calculating the dispersion, for identifying the dispersion is coefficient of variation. What exactly is coefficient of variation? This coefficient of variation is very simple. It is just standard deviation divided by mean into 100%. Coefficient of variation is just is equal to standard deviation divided by mean into 100%. So whenever the data set is collected, the data set, first of all, we will be able to identify, should be able to identify the mean. Then you collect the standard deviation. What is the standard deviation? Standard deviation is the square root of the average of sum of all the square deviations, right? So when you divide standard deviation with the mean and multiply with the 100%, you are going to get a coefficient of variation. Let us understand with a simple example. We have the data set 5, 7, 8, 10, 12. So what is the mean? Mean is 5 plus 7 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12 is equal to 42 divided by 5, which is equal to 8.4, which is equal to mean here. Now, what is the standard deviation? First of all, in order to calculate the standard deviation, we should be able to calculate the variance. What is the variance? For the variance, we need to calculate each and every individual deviations. How to calculate deviation? The deviation is 5 minus 8 point, every data point should be, rather, the mean should be subtracted from each and every data point and we need to square them. That is what? Square deviation. Get a square deviation. 5 minus 8.4 square is equal to 11.56. Another data point, 7 minus 8.4 is square is equal to 1.96. 8 minus 8.4 square is equal to 0.16. 10 minus 8.4 square is equal to 2.56. 12 minus 8.4 square is equal to 12.96. So these are all square deviations. When you add them and divide it by n, you are going to get the variance. Okay. We add them and divide it by n, where n is equal to 5. But this is sample variance, we are calculating the sample variance. We are going to calculate, since this is a sample, now we got that point. So we are considering only a sample data set. Here it is taken as a sample data set. You may go for sample variance or a complete variance. Here what we are taking is a sample variance, and the sample variance we should divide with the n minus 1. If you divide it with n, you will get a complete variance. You can take anything. But only the thing is, we should be able to understand what data set we are collecting. Is it the portion of the data set or is it a complete data set? If it is a portion of the data set, we will only be able to calculate the sample variance. In this case, we are calculating the sample variance. In the sample variance, we are going to use n minus 1 to divide. We are going to divide sum of all the square deviations with n minus 1. What is n minus 1? n minus 1 is equal to 4 here. Okay, 7.3 is a variance, sample variance. If you square root it, you are going to get a standard deviation. What is standard deviation? Standard deviation is square root of the variance. Here the variance that is being considered here is the sample variance. The square root of sample variance 7.3 is equal to 2.7, identically equal to 2.7. This is what? The standard deviation. Standard deviation divided by mean into 100%. Standard deviation is 2.7, mean is equal to 8.4 into 100% is equal to 32.14%. This is what? Quotient of variation. I hope you got the point. Thank you.